All right, all right, all right. Good morning, good afternoon. See, when I plan ahead, folks can already be in the chat. Good morning, Judith. Hello, Crystal. Crystal is already on. Like, sub, share, and support. Thank you, Crystal. I meant to fix my words over here. This thing, hey, I hate it. I hate it. Let's see if I can make this bigger. There we go. I think I did that right. Good morning, y'all. Let me make sure it's do that again. I need to work on that. Um,
Mhm.
I I had a few minutes to go ahead and do all of the things and set this up properly so that you all knew we were going live today. So I appreciate you being here. Hi, Judith. Happy to have you. I hope you're having a good day out in Cali. I am going to, I'll start doing my intro. Hopefully, we'll have some more folks join. I'll do the intro because we won't have Charlotte the entire time, and I want to get through all of the conversation. So let me do the intro right this second, and then I will kick us off. All right. Good morning, everyone, or good afternoon, depending on where you are located. My name is Jewel Pearson. This is Miss Bohemian Soul TV. This is Creating Home, a tiny house series, and the segment we're about to kick off is one of our conversations on intimate spaces. Every Sunday, I do offer live content, well, most every Sunday. I alternate between these conversations, the What's Your Question segment, where I am answering frequently asked tiny house questions, and then our community conversations where we are just literally sharing in community and enjoying that conversation. As I introduce myself, I always say that I built a kind of fancy tiny house in 2015, and since that time I have shared my journey to hopefully inspire others who are interested in the movement. I do also offer coaching and consultations to help others in their tiny house journey, and you'll be able to find the links to schedule with me once this video goes live in the description. And as I'm doing all of that, I serve up a lot of representation in the movement along the way. I want us to see ourselves and see our wins and challenges in the movement and be able to have a platform where we can share those and discuss those. It's my intent to build literal and figurative community. So if you find this video helpful, share it, like it, subscribe to the channel, do all the things that Crystal is going to remind you of throughout this session, and then turn on the notifications so you'll know when content is live. All right, so I am gonna go back. Let me fix this. I did that wrong. All right, there you are. Good morning, Charlotte. Good morning, everybody I see is in the chat. We're gonna say good morning to you all, but before I do all of that, Charlotte Van Horn, please introduce yourself to my community and to the audience.
Hello, everybody. Hello, this is Charlotte Van Horn with Black Expats in Panama, and I am just so excited that my girl Jewel is having me on her show. There's somehow I'm attracted to the adults in the room, because I'm the kid in the room. So if y'all, Jewel be serious all the time. So that's not me. So just brace yourself, okay?
And my community does not even know what you're talking about because they know I'm silly as all get out. Folks just think I'm serious, so they know I'm silly. So they already know you ain't talking about me being serious in the room.
She's grown up in this room, y'all. But anyway, I met Jewel. Jewel actually came on my very
Hey! I just said introduce yourself. So I already
oh
warned
sorry.
her that
Okay,
I was gonna I was gonna stop her and rein her in because I want to talk about all of the things and how we got to all of the things. I'm cutting her off because we're gonna talk about that in just a few minutes. So thank you, ma'am, for introducing yourself to the community. Before we get
thank
started
you.
talking about all of those things, I do want to talk about your background. And so you're now a full-time resident of Panama. And I want to talk about, so when I first met you, and again, we're going to talk about how I met you, you were part-time resident. You had your business that you were going back and forth. You did hair, you were coming back and forth, was full-time. And so Alfredo, her husband, is Panamanian. Was full-time in Panama always the vision, or did just kind of over time of that back and forth, was there something that changed and you decided full-time Panama?
Well, again, thank you for being the adult in the room. Well, for Alfredo, it was always the vision.
Okay.
When I met him 31 years ago, that's what he said. For me, not necessarily. He used to talk about Panama all the time, and when I came for the first time, I was pleasantly surprised. I really, really I liked it. I mean, I didn't like it to where I wanted to live here,
Okay.
but I liked it. I liked it. And over time, I would say probably about 6 years coming here with him. That's when we really started to consider the transition down the road. So we planned in advance.
Okay. All right. I'm calling out Effie Gaskin. She's saying, "Good day from Baltimore. She was just praying about Panama and looking into the culture there. So interesting." So, Effie Gaskin, we are here literally answering prayers this morning. So, thank you. Thank you for calling that out.
Won't he do
Literally,
it?
that's
Won't
what
he do it? Hey,
what you say.
I said, won't he do it? Won't he will?
Won't he will. And Crystal is saying, Crystal said, "Bring on the shenanigans." So they are here this morning. We are ready. So let's talk. Keep talking about the background. So you had started this Facebook group, which is how I initially connected with you. What year did you start the Facebook group?
2019,
2019.
May
And
of
so
2019.
Okay. And so, okay, let me go back because part of the intro that I missed talking about. So, usually I introduce because somebody is kind of in or around the tiny house movement. And so, I do my intro where I say, I feel like tiny houses tell stories. People who live in tiny houses, build tiny houses, they have a lot of intention in the reasons behind their building. You're not involved in the tiny house movement per se. We're going to talk about that, but I want to draw the connection to and for my community because we talk a lot about tiny houses and their connection to liberation. And
Mhm.
so there's a connection in the work that Charlotte does and with Black expats in Panama that is also this connection of liberation. And that is part of the connection that she and I have in our relationship. But I want to draw that out so that you all are paying attention to this as we keep this conversation going. So I wanted to step back and mention that because I I didn't do that piece of the intro. So you started the group. So I'm gonna get back to my question. I just wanted to give that background. So you start the group in 2019. Was there and and you're just providing information people are sharing. Was there an aha moment that happened for you with the group where you realized I need to take this a step further and provide some resources? And what did that look like?
I remember the moment precisely, honestly, Jewel, because I started the group in 2019, but it really wasn't that interesting. I used to come to Panama every like twice a year for 2 weeks at a time, and I just started posting on the group. Let me backtrack and say that the reason I started the group in 2019 was because I was a Sister Locks consultant, and I was planning on bringing my business to Panama, and I knew that my client would be an expat. And I started looking for Black expats in Panama, anything, and that nothing existed. Nothing existed. There was some expat in Panama page. There was like a couple of other pages. And then when I looked at them, the community just wasn't for me, And
Okay.
so I kept going back and looking for something. And finally, the Holy Spirit said, we can go ahead and start the thing. So that's what happened. In May of 2019, I initiated and started the group of Black expats in Panama, and he gave me the wisdom to create a page as well. So I have a public page and a private group. The aha moment came, so I was putting little stuff there. I grew the group about 200, and the page was
Hmm.
less. The group was about 200 a year later. And then the aha moment was May of 2020. George Floyd, Karen in the Park, Donald Trump, and COVID colliding in that May, that after that holiday,
Hmm.
remember after the Memorial Day
Hmm.
holiday. And I remember the moment exactly. I can remember Gail King, reporting the story and reporting Karen in the Park. And she came back and she was like, this is just too much today. And I'd never really seen her react that way. And she resonated with me because I felt the same way. And I started to cry because it was heavy. And I think that the whole world, at least a lot of black people in the United States, felt
Mm-hmm.
that at that very moment too, because almost immediately I started getting all these pings for the group. I was like, sheesh, after 200 in a year, I didn't get pings every day, and they just became like overwhelming. And that was the aha moment. People were asking me, what is police brutality like over there? Or is it melanated? What is healthcare like? What is, getting residency like? What is your experience over there? And I'm like, I can't answer all that. So, because that's not what I set out to do. So basically, I prepared myself to answer those questions and created the cultural relocation tour as a result of that. And that was the aha moment that this is what I needed to do.
Be the change. You became the change.
Yep.
You became the change. Okay, and so now we can go kind of to the first time I met you. So you decided this aha moment. You start putting things into place
Hmm.
for the Black expats in Panama relocation tours. And so I was on your very first tour. Talk to me about from the aha moment to setting the date for this first tour. Talk about kind of the middle of what was happening in the timeline.
Well, that was tricky because if you recall, May of 2020, we were in early shutdown. So
Right.
honestly, I didn't know if the world was ever going to open up again to do a tour. But what I did was I worked with another company who was located here in Panama to put some resources together and help me get this tour up and running. And what I did was I told them to find me Afro Panamanian tour guides. I needed a whole different route. I knew that I needed to go to Cologne, which nobody else was doing. So basically, it was totally
Tell us
random.
why you were going to Cologne. Tell us why you knew you needed to go to Cologne.
The reason I knew that I needed to go to Cologne because Cologne is that spooky black place, or like one of the many spooky black places that we have in the United States, where it's not far from Panama City. It's about an hour or so drive away, and it is a city that is struggling. I mean, struggling. It has a very, very complicated past. It is looks almost demolished, and but there's history there. There is history, and there is a reason. And you get so tired of hearing people say, "Don't go to Cologne. Don't go to Cologne."
Hmm.
I don't trust that. When everybody telling you don't go, find out why. And if you decide not to go again, then you'll know. But at least do some research into it. To tell you the truth, it had been at that particular time, it had been probably 16 years since I had seen Cologne. But in my spirit, I knew that my tour had to go there. So we, the black tour guides here in Panama, really assisted with that as far as how to go to Cologne, being able to bring the history, the real truth, nothing but the truth to our people, and then also taking us outside of Cologne City because Cologne City is the city, but it's within the province of Cologne. So Cologne is not just the city. So when you hear people say they're going to Cologne, they might be going to Portobello. I forget some of the other towns through there, but Cologne is a province. As a matter of fact, it's the
Okay.
third of Panama. So that's why I needed to go and expose Panama. I mean, to share that part of Panama because I wanted people, but I not only shared that part, I had already begun to share the Afro Antillano part where there are blacks here in Panama from the West Indians who built this canal. Okay, and so they go by the term Afro Antilianos, and it's not very much, you don't learn a lot about them. So my tour included learning about the Afro Antilianos, and then the people from the Cologne side, they have an African background and they were colonized. They came here through the, the Spaniards brought them here, or they came here through slavery. But they have a very strong Congo background. So the ones who built the canal came to build the canal. The others came as slaves. So we learned all about that, and I'll just say real quickly that I just feel like we need to go to places and be educated about where we are, the contributions that others have made to the country, because the propaganda will only tell you what it wants you to know. And that is my
Mhm.
experience from the United States. And I wish that when people brought, big crowds and big groups to the United States, that we could talk about the African American contributions to the United States. I'm very grateful for that Smithsonian Museum at this time.
So beautiful, beautiful. So you're putting this tour together. You want to
Mhm.
make sure it is authentic, is what I'm hearing you say. You didn't want it to be, and I've talked with this group about how when I travel, I'm not wanting to do the touristy things anymore. I'm wanting to see the city. I'm looking for my people. All of those things, because I want to not be a tourist. I want to see things differently and experience things from the perspective of I know my people are everywhere, and meet and see those people. So you're putting together this authentic experience. Um, One of the things, and you and I have spoken about this, that stood out for me, and I'm stepping to when I went to Colombia, and my
Okay.
guide there, his t-shirt says, let a black man tell you black history. And that thing, it gives me chills right now, because we know in America our history has been told by people who have reasons to slant it so that it looks better for them, who it's been told by people who have reasons to leave out, omit a lot of things because it looks better for them, from a perspective of their behavior was awful, so they want to omit it, or because we're amazing people and they want to omit that so that we don't know our amazingness. And we know
Mhm.
right now there's the whole initiative in not telling our history at all. Let's just
Mhm.
skip over all of it, or and they want us to feel like slavery was beneficial, like there were things, perks we got from being enslaved. Like, are you kidding me?
Training.
Get FO out, FOH out. No, that, and so um that there for me is the value in just one piece of the value in what you're doing. And so now I can connect to, so I joined, I don't know really when I joined the group, but for me, it's the same conversation that you just said, that you just had. As I'm looking at America, I know I don't want to be here. There's a lot that happens in
Mhm.
America. I can't say I'm going to be gone full time, but I always, like I say in a minute, I keep my passport on me. And there's a conversation happening in the chat about passports. I keep my
Mhm.
passport on me, because if I need to dip out of here, I want to be ready to go at that very moment, because I can't trust all of the things that happen here. And so I want to live, I want to know spaces that I'm interested in going to, and so I want to do my research, and I want to experience those spaces. And so I stumbled on Black expats in Panama, and Charlotte was launching her first BEIP tour. Beep, you say you call it Beep, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Be
So she was hosting her first tour, which was May of 2022, right? Wasn't that May 2020,
21.
2021? 20, yes,
21.
2021, because COVID lockdown was 20, and so it was the next year. Yes, I was working on my tiny house and signed up for the first tour. So I want you to talk about the first tour from your perspective before I even add any of my color to it.
The first tour, from my perspective, was very, very new. I had done tours and done groups before, so I have a sense of what people wanted. The thing that made it easy for me was that I connected with my people. I do businesses that I know what the people want. When I was a Sister Locks consultant, I was Sister Locks. I knew exactly what I wanted,
Mm-hmm.
right? And in this
Mm-hmm.
case, I was a Black expat. I was a Black expat. And when we did the tour, when I look back on it now, it is completely different. We're about to do our 28th tour now. Yes, we're about to do
Wait,
our
wait. So wait.
28th.
So she's doing too much. Ain't nobody ask her what tour we on right now. I want you to talk about this first tour. Don't go into all the amazingness that you have currently. Just stay on the first tour, ma'am.
Just the fact. Okay. The first tour was exciting. The first tour was huge. The first tour was a learning experience. Because we were dead in COVID still. They had just opened up. They had opened Panama back up, but we were dead in COVID, so you could only take so many people into certain spaces at a certain time, and it was a little bit cumbersome. Um, the first tour, remember we ate under the the
Mm-hmm. The
dome.
outside,
We've never
yes,
done
that
we've never
pavilion.
done that again. We've never done that again. So that was sort of like something very special. The other thing about the tour, because I had tour guides here working on like the agenda, some of the stuff I did with y'all for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, like I was approving things and looking at them, but I hadn't really done some of that stuff. And remember, I had not been to Cologne
Right.
since for all those years. I just knew that I had to go. So when I went to Cologne, and when I said I wanted to go to Cologne, everybody, black, white, foreigners, and Panamanians told me, don't go to Cologne.
Don't do
Because
it.
you
Mm-hmm.
have to believe in yourself and your spirit, and not allow other people to encourage you outside of what you want. So the first tour for me was, it was just a basic introduction. The group was beautiful, and the last thing that I'll say is that what I quickly learned then was that I was really onto something, because of the way that the people embraced it and the way they embraced the information. And the other thing that I learned was that we walk in fear. The
Mm-hmm.
people were
Mm-hmm.
very fearful of really even honestly opening their mind up totally, I think, for investment into international space. A lot of us were and are very, very fearful. Is
Yeah.
that enough?
Yeah. So the part
We
that
needed
I'll
to be
add to that
liberated. We needed to be
need to be what?
liberated. Liberated.
Absolutely. Liberation is the underlying theme and current for this entire conversation. For me, I will add, and Robert, so Charlotte, to get you up on my community. So Robert is one of my community members. I've not met Robert, but Robert is here generally every Sunday, and he's proposed to me several times. I've never met Robert, but he's our resident, um, our resident male, because the community is a lot is female dominant, but Robert is a staple in the community. And so I saw a whole conversation. Remember, I said there was a conversation happening about passports over there,
Mhm.
and I saw Robert say he didn't have his passport and he didn't fly. So I'd already said I was going to come back and tell Robert he needed to get his whole life together if he thought he was going to ask me to marry him. So, but he's worked that out all by himself. So he says, "Guess I better get me a passport somehow to spend my life with Jewel in Panama." Robert, I'm glad you worked all of that out by yourself, and I didn't have to say a word. Um, so my community is beautiful. So they were having
I've
that whole
seen
side
Robert before.
yeah, okay. So yes, I
He's
think
a
everybody
YouTube
knows Robert.
husband.
Huh?
He's a YouTube husband.
Okay, yes, he is. Yes, he is. So what I want to say about the tour is, for me, it's absolutely about liberation. My interest in coming to Panama and the travel that I do, a lot of my travel is because I want to visit those people in those spaces, but a large majority of my travel is finding places that I know I can spend significant time in, and that will bring me joy. And
Mhm.
so that was me signing up for Charlotte's first tour. And I will share. So, my perspective, you all know I have always said I have managed events. I've worked as a corporate meeting planner and a conference planning. So I have the eye for looking at stuff, knowing how stuff is going behind the scenes, and all of those things. And my after my experience, so somehow I was every time we get on the bus, I sat in the middle, in the back of the bus, because y'all know me, I'm an introvert. I kind of stay away from folks, even though Charlotte talks about I'm the adult. I'm to myself. I'm watching and observing and doing all the things, but minding my business. So I sat in the back of the bus, in the middle of the back seat in the back of the bus, because I just kind of could see everything that was going on. I had a better view out the window back there. And like I said, I was minding my business. And so it became a running joke to Charlotte that I was sitting back in the back of the bus in the middle seat. But I was observing everything that was going on, the tour group, where we go, the conversations, all of the things. And I said to Charlotte as I left, and I said it to the entire group, I cannot imagine where you're taking this and how this is going to go, and what the level that you're getting ready to take this to, because the first tour was absolutely amazing and flawless. And there were so many things, so many touches, so many beautiful touches that they had for the attendees, that at for the first tour, I only knew it was going to get better. And I shared that with her because I was so proud to, one, have been on the first tour, but also so proud to know she was getting ready to take this thing, to
Wow.
another level. So one of my guests is saying, make sure your mic is closer to your mouth and turned up, because sometimes you're a bit muffled. So let's, um,
Me,
yes, you. So
I got on
turn it.
earbuds.
Okay, that got louder. So I guess maybe just make sure you're speaking up a little bit louder. Charlotte never usually
Okay,
has
thank
that trouble,
you.
so
Well,
um
I do need a clearer projection. That's why I have them on today. So I hope that's better. Is that better?
it's
Maybe
better.
they're getting
It is,
low.
yes, it is better
Okay,
now. It's
okay.
better.
All right. Okay, cool. Cool. So
So so tell us now how many tours you've done.
so we have done 27 of those tours since then, and I do the tours 9 months out the year. I do not do the cultural relocation tour at this time. I do not do it in January or October or November. I may do it next January. But so we've done 27 completed tours. Not to mention I've done some of the same route on other tours that I've bought to Panama since then. 'Cause, I do my sister's retreat here, annually as well. And you know, the thing is that we've added a lot. We've added a lot. We have more cultural dancing that we have going on now. We've just really solidified a lot of things. We've upgraded some of the restaurant. We've upgraded as far as like our real estate selections and the way that we show the real estate options or places to live. We've streamlined it. Since then, we deal with the Marriott. We go there because they developed a drink for me, and we named it. A guest of mine named it Sankofa, and they made this cocktail especially for Black expats in Panama. So now we take people to have this amazing cocktail too. It's just we've added so much, and the thing is that I've really tried to keep the prices very reasonable. And I think that matter of fact, my husband and I just decided yesterday that coming into 2025, 2024 is such an amazing year for us. And because of the way that we have restructured our business, we have been able to receive a lot of benefits from that. And so as a result of that, we're going to pass part of that benefit on to our clients. And we are not going to raise the price of the tour this year. So
That's beautiful.
2025 will be at 2024 prices. I haven't released them yet, and praise God, a majority of our tours have sold out this year. So that's the other thing, it's really catching on. It just takes tenacity and being online
Absolutely.
every day, talking to people and encouraging people, talking about liberation. Jewel, is we help to liberate each other, and having this platform, online, and for people to be able to see you all over the world and to see people looking like us doing these
Mm-hmm.
amazing the things that you're
Mm-hmm.
doing with tiny home community. I'm always amazed at you and the information that you bring to us that I would never pay attention to tell you the truth, until I had met you. But it is a way of liberating ourselves and just opening our minds. I think my mics are going.
No, you're good. I think you're good.
Okay,
Oh, wait.
okay. So
Something.
what
Wait a minute,
happened?
Chris. Charlotte. Charlotte comes through clear when she is fully facing the screen. For me, she keeps switching from muffled to clear. So maybe turn your body. I don't know if something is projecting. Um,
Okay, okay. Let me see. I
and
think I should just try to go out of these ear pods. Maybe I'll try that. Okay, y'all, I'm gonna try that and see
oh,
what
that's
happens.
better for sure.
Can you hear me? I'm gonna put these
Yes.
away. Uh,
Hey,
can you
Michelle.
hear me now?
I'm. I think so.
I can't hear
Michelle,
you.
sorry you can't be here.
Okay.
Wait a
I
minute.
can't hear you.
Something happened. Now you sound like you're underwater. We lost you.
Again, I'm gonna put these back. I'm sorry.
We could hear you without them, I thought, but something was happening. Okay.
I can hear you. Okay, you can hear me now.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna stay right here. I'm gonna try not to move.
Okay.
um, but talk about liberating each other. So over the course of time, in the 3 years, we're about to celebrate 3 years of doing our tours. I have seen the liberation
Mhm.
happening. I have seen people come and be more um, willing to look at an international situation for themselves, because living in the United States for a lot of us, and I'm not saying for all of us, no, I'm saying for a lot of us, including myself, is stressful. It's
Mhm.
stressful and it's
Mhm.
oppressive. It is oppressive. So if we're being oppressed, and we have a choice to be liberated. We've been oppressed for so long where we didn't have a choice. But at this point, if you're being oppressed, that's you're kind of making that choice. If you don't have your passport, you're making that choice. I'm just saying. Because if you don't have your passport, you are choosing whatever situation you have in the United States and accepting that. If the first thing is to have your passport, the first step to liberation is to have your passport. If the U.S. is something that you would like to see alternatives to. And I'm just saying, I think that we should all at least be there. And so that's what I'm saying, oppression or liberation. And I don't like to say that and come across, I'm wary about coming across in a judgmental way, because that's not from whence I come. Everybody's situation is different. People don't have different things in their lives or don't do different things in their lives for their own reasons, most of which
Mhm.
other people may not ever know. So I'm not here to judge anyone. I'm just here to encourage you that you might want to try something new.
And that brings me to a comment that Day made. Hi, Day. that our guest speaker is telling the truth about some of us being fearful in some spaces. I would love to travel, but I am uncomfortable in certain spaces. A lot of spaces are not safe. And Day, that is an excellent point. We touched on it a few minutes ago. I know that the way that I move, not everybody is comfortable with it because I'll travel internationally solo. I do research. I am always very cautious about where I stay and places I visit and those types of things, but I will travel solo. But a lot of my work in my travel is connecting in spaces like with Charlotte's event because I knew through that event, even though I didn't know anybody there, I knew I could make some connections and see things as a group and learn and be provided information from the perspective of, because I also want to do tours that are hosted by people that look like me, because the other experience, and this also ties into the tiny house world and the reason that I do what I do. The other, my counterparts experiences in tiny houses is not the same experience that I have had as a Black woman because of the challenges that I've had with racism. And so as I'm doing my international travel and exploring cities, I'm looking for people who can tell me, I don't want the tour even if it's by a Black person, but that Black person is taking it from the corporate stance. I don't want that tour. I want a tour where I know I can see and be told the real story. I can go visit a Cologne. And someone said they their husband's from Cologne, so they're interested in this conversation. They're going to come visit because that is going to tell me that, because that person is going to be able to relate to me being uncomfortable in spaces because of race and because of those things, and that person actually can give me the information, the true information that I need. So Charlotte, who is your main demographic? Who are you serving? Is it Black women? Is it family? Who do you see as the main demographic that's taking your tours, or is it across the board?
Single women, single Black women. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, it catches up,
Single
but it's a little bit.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's
Single
okay.
black women. Single black women is the main person that comes on my tour. So for those people who are concerned about traveling, this tour is very safe. We make it very safe. I have systems put in place to make sure that you are safe, and we connect as a family before you even get here. We do Zoom calls so you know who you're traveling with. I make it very easy for you to be in a room by yourself if you want, or if you want, I can pair you with someone who is like-minded. We've had so many best friends come out of those situations because the hotel we stay at is really large and they can move around and not be on top of each other, two different TVs and stuff. So it's a great way to make friends and to still travel. If you're waiting for somebody to travel with you, you may die in the same spot.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Uh, that's so much of why and how I started moving solo. Because if you're waiting for someone, if you're waiting for somebody to go to dinner, if you're waiting for somebody to go to a play, you will die trying. And that's not anything that I don't want to miss out because I've been waiting for other people to join me. So I still want to talk about what the tour is doing, so and that liberation conversation. So you're providing, it's not just a tour. I want you to elaborate more on that. It's not just a tour of the areas, because you're also providing resources. So you've got a real estate person, you've got an attorney that can help with the paperwork to put together your tour and the surrounding resources that you're providing.
Okay, thank you. That's a very good point to make because we have a lot of fun on our tours, and I think that some people just see some of the footage and just say, "Well, they just kicking it." We do be kicking it because you know how we do, but we are very serious. We have a lot of resources. We get a lot of work done. We just have fun when we're doing it. For example, the first night that you come, we have a reception dinner where you get to meet a realtor, a lawyer, insurance broker, moving company, doctor is on our team now. And so some of those people weren't available, right, when you came, Jules. So we've
Right.
added on. quite a few people. We work with Black businesses as much as possible. That's the other thing that we do. So we are definitely pouring into the Black communities here in Panama as much as possible. And so you get to meet them, you have access to them, they offer consultations. The next day, we do a cultural piece in the morning where we learn a little bit about the Afro Interiano that I spoke about, the West Indians that came here to build the canal. We do a little bit of culture. We go to a couple of different suburb areas and show you different ways and places to live there. We typically take you to new new places because that's the easiest way to take a group somewhere. So, but in the meantime, we tell you what it costs to rent in those places. A lot of people really want to rent first, and we understand that. And so do our developers who work with us in showing their spaces. So there's no pressure or expectation for you to buy, but for you, you will be able to see and know for firsthand how much things are in the particular areas. You'll be able to connect when people are talking online about certain areas, like, oh yeah, that was where we went to the restaurant. So you get the whole history of Panama, plus the history of the areas that we're going through, plus the Black history. That is something that
Mhm.
you're not going to get. And on some tours, you don't really get the history of Panama, I'm told. But anyway, so that's one day. The next day, we're up and out every day at 8 o'clock. The next day, we go to Cologne, and that is just our fun day. That is our turn up day. And I always say, and I'm not talking about the vegetables, it's 6 minutes that you fresh your on kind of day. And we just have a really good time. My tours are old school. So like anytime the tour guide is not talking, we're listening to music. You know, we're having a good time. And we go to Cologne that day, and I'll talk somewhat a little bit about that day. As well. But we go to a black owned restaurant over the water. This is a new place too, Jewel, from when you were there. We take boats out to Isla Mame. We support the Congo dancers. The Congo dancers are there every time we go into the city. All kind of stuff. The next day we're back on our grind. 8 o'clock we're going down to the beach. So you get to see the Caribbean side and the Pacific side. You get to see Panama from about an hour and a half to 2 hour perspective around Panama City. We don't go out to Boquete and to places further beyond that. We show you as much as we can and teach you as much as we can in the days that we have you. And then the last day, we have a farewell dinner where we have more entertainment. We give you a chance to give us your feedback and testimonies. Those are some of the things that you'll see online. And then the last day, we take you to the Panama Canal in Casco Viejo. So we always tell people to make your flight so that you're leaving later in the afternoon so that you can take advantage of this Casco Viejo Panama Canal tour that we provide on that last day. We can't spend that much time on you know what I mean, on Panama Canal
On the
and the
touristy,
tour.
right, the touristy things. No, because you're providing some content for these people who are exploring for a different reason. Okay, so I want to
Mhm.
be mindful of your time. It's 12:43. I know you said you needed to leave. So we got 2 minutes and there's a lot to cover. How you need me to move to the meat of the conversation, or can you chat? Because it's some more stuff to ask.
Go ahead. I gotta be out of here by 1 o'clock your time
Okay,
for
I
sure.
got you.
So
I got you.
you
1 o'clock. Okay. All right. So, so this kind of leads into my next question. Robert is asking if there's a large concentration of Black people in Panama. He's saying he's never been. And so I have a question for you, but I want to add to that. So I have been able to. I did go back for Charlotte's anniversary tour. That was special to me, having been a guest of her first tour. So I wanted to go back and support that. Panama for me is of like, I want to live in a space where I see um not just brown people, I see Black people that look like me. I want to be in a space where I feel like I'm welcome and wanted and not just tolerated. That's important
Mhm.
to me. But it's also important to me. I love Panama because they are closer to, they are out of the main storm area, so they don't get hit by the major storms, hurricanes, and things like that. Because y'all know I'm scary when it comes to big storms. And I also love Panama because of the access that the canal provides them. So there's a lot of access to resources that a lot of other areas, because they're further out and don't have that connection, don't have. And then I also love Panama because I'm also the big city girl. So it kind of looks like Miami with the big buildings and the high rises and the mid rises. And so that's some of the joy that Panama brings to me. But talk about, so in addition to your tours, you also are building a community there, and you all do spend time together. So talk about the concentration of Black people in Panama from a logistics Panamanian perspective, and then also talk about your community, please.
Okay. Well, I wanted to add also in some of the changes since we started. First of all, we are a licensed, fully licensed tour operator and travel agency here in Panama now, which is a big deal. And the other thing is that we have our office in Obarrio. So we have our own office space now, and we got that last year. With regard to the demographics here, it's like you said, people when people walk up to me and speak Spanish because I look like a Panamanian. So a lot of the people that you see will look like me or melanated. What you don't see as much are the minority as far as the way people look here is that white blue eyed blonde hair person. That's not very common here. One of the things I'm most proud of is our community service or my community service to the Black expats as they come here. I do a lot of things, even though the company is a corporation. I do a lot of things as a community group. We have things like single and satisfied. We have a group that's cafe and conversation where we get together every fourth Sunday and we practice speaking Spanish and we invite Panamanians and other foreigners to come in as well and practice speaking English. It's just another way to connect and meet each other. We have the business to business network where we meet every second Wednesday at 6:30 in the evening and try to create synergistic creative relationships between Black expats and people who are here in Panama doing business. Because Panama is so protective over its professions, you need to be creative here. Don't automatically assume that you're going to come to Panama and do whatever you did in the States or wherever because they protect those professions for their people. So the best thing you could do is connect with other Panamanians and to create partnerships or alliances or incorporate yourself. Get you an attorney. So we just think about different ideas because we have new perspectives compared to it's like other people coming to the United States and bringing hookah or sushi,
Mm-hmm.
stuff that we wasn't
Mm-hmm.
doing up until recent times, and having it sit. It's opportunity to just shine. Some of the things that we're doing every day in the United States are still not popular here. So we have that. What else do we have? We have Black expats with kids here in Panama. One more. I think I'm forgetting one more. But oh yeah, Welcome Wednesdays. Now we do Welcome Wednesdays every third Wednesday. People that are coming through Panama City, people that are living here, people that are new here. They know that we're going to be somewhere every third Wednesday at 6 o'clock, and you just have to follow me to kind of see where those places are. But I think that I'm very proud of the fact that we were able to get people off the Facebook page and actually into the community. So it's not just a group of people chatting online. We are active, we are active in each other's lives, and people get so busy, and you find your tribe. That's how you find your tribe. And so Black expats in Panama has been able to achieve that. And we like to support Panamanians as well. So when we do these events, we have them at venues. We have some Black expats who are opening up businesses. So we try to support them. We have one brother that just opened up a bar called the Daiquiri 23 in El Cangrejo. So we try to support him. It's sort of like a cheers for the Black expats in Panama to go. Everybody knows your name, you know. So we're very excited about that and constantly growing our connections and relationships within the city.
I love it. For me, Panama also brings me joy because it's one of the places that I'm comfortable moving through the city by myself. I have been three times now, three, I think it's three or four times. And I've stayed in the behind the walled city. I've stayed on the other side, and I'm okay moving throughout by myself. But it also brings me joy to know that there is a community of people that is there that I can connect with. One of the things that I will say that I feel like you've pointed out, and we've had this conversation before, is we also don't want to go to a place and only connect with Black expats from the US. We do want to go in and immerse ourselves in the community and get to know those people and become part of their community, because that doing that, what just going and connecting with other expats is taking that level of privilege that we feel like we have from the US and taking it to other people's house, other people's houses. Like I used to be in some other expat groups, and it would, especially the ones in Mexico, and it would pissed me off to a high level of festivity, the folks that I would see who would leave the US and feel like they can go move to Mexico and they're going to take their Trump flags and their racism and all of the things, but you're moving in somebody else's country, the same people that you say get out of my country, and now you're taking all of that BS to their country, and there's so much privilege in that. But as Black people, we need to understand we also have some American privilege as we're going to these places, and we don't want to take that there.
We don't want to bring that attitude, you know,
Right.
and so, you know, the gentrification part is real. Okay, it is.
Absolutely.
And we are definitely
Absolutely.
seeing it all over the world right now. The Blaxit is real, and we are making an impact because it's not only us leaving the United States, it's other people leaving the United States as well for
Mm-hmm.
different reasons, right? And however, comma, you know, I struggled with that initially, but I said, you know something, somebody gonna buy this stuff. It might as well be us, and make sure that we support the Afro Panamanian, or you know, the community where you are, the vendors that are there, and make sure that you bring some positivity to the community as opposed to just taking. Other people are going to take advantage of these things, and I don't feel like
Mm-hmm.
it's a good deal for us to say, nah, I'm not going to do that because I don't want to be a part of that. You know, for me, I feel like it's time for us to make some moves. We missed so many opportunities. You know, first of all, being scared, and second of all, maybe not having the wherewithal. You know, our grandparents and our great grandparents didn't have international spaces for us to go in the summer and things like that. That's part of the reason why we're scared. But people are starting to open up now and just kind of be more comfortable with it because they're seeing more people do it. But when we come here, that's why I showed you Black Panama. Don't come here and be disrespectful. Don't come here and be
Mm-hmm.
disrespectful. And if I see you disrespectful in my group, I put you out. I don't do foolishness. I don't do foolishness, and don't bring your colonizing attitude. You'd be surprised. Hurt people hurt people. That's what I say.
I'm not
Don't
I'm
come
not surprised at all. No.
hot mess. Hot mess some people are. And then the other thing about us, stop, don't bring the crabs in the barrel with you either.
Yeah.
I said what I said.
Okay, ma'am. Let me get you back on track because I got 6 minutes with you, Dougie
I,
Fresh.
I got
And
I
Rob,
got to answer
when
yes, because I got to go. Go
what you
ahead.
say?
I said yes because I got to go too.
You got to go. Rob, when you said 6 minutes, Dougie Fresh, a few minutes ago, Robert said, not everybody's going to know that reference. That's one of my favorite things to do. And if I'm in company where people don't understand 6 minutes, Dougie Fresh, you're on, I don't even want to be with them because them ain't my people.
Oh,
Oh, okay. So I just need you to answer the questions going forward because I need to get these 6 minutes with you. Okay, the
okay.
Green Afro is asking. She says, I have a question. How do they treat the Black LGBTQ community in Panama? Do you know the answers to that?
I do. And so just to be brief, there are quite a few in our community. and they seem to be very happy here. They seem to be very happy here.
I have not ever seen Panama being part of the conversation where people feel um, uncomfortable as part of that community. I've not ever seen Panama brought up
And
there.
most people in that community do their research before they come to a country like that. They're gonna know. They're gonna know what the temperature is. And Panama is
Yes.
probably evolving and progressing with it, but it's definitely, like I said, we have quite a few members in our community.
Okay, so I got one more, a few more questions, and I'm gonna let you go. Robert is saying, and we're just gonna say yes and no. Robert is saying, I've never known Black folks to want to have that type of arrogance in a different country. We don't do that in other countries, do we? We absolutely do, absolutely
Yeah.
do, and it is so awful. We absolutely do. Um, all right, so now I need to move because we got to get to a important point here, and so you just answer my questions, ma'am, from this point forward. Let me get over here to my right slide. Okay, the so so I wanted to share this picture. Charlotte, I think you see the pictures, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so I wanted to share this picture. We ain't gonna talk about it, but I think this picture is so regal and so much of the Queen of Panama, and the work that you're doing. So I wanted to include that picture. One of the tours. Do you know which tour this was?
This was probably about two tours ago.
Two
I
tours
don't know, maybe
ago.
maybe 20, maybe 26, maybe 26.
Okay, all
This
right.
one
This
here,
is. Go ahead.
I think this one here is. Oh, don't do that. I think this one is 20. This is 26. So the other
Okay,
one must. Yeah, this is 26. I think the other one was maybe 27. Mm-hmm.
okay. And so I know.
This is
So
our all
next to
white
her,
night dinner.
huh?
This is our all white night with pops of red dinner.
Okay. So Charlotte's husband is to her right, and then Tio is part of her staff,
The team.
uh, the team. Yes. Okay. Sorry, team. Okay. Cultural relocations tour. This link is going to be in the information that I share. Once this video goes live, you can get more information on Charlotte's website around pricing and all of the things. I also shared that I went to Cuba with
Mhm.
Charlotte when I went earlier this year. It was with Charlotte. So this is the part that we need to talk about. And I don't know what happened that it all of a sudden got smaller. There we go. Oh, it's doing something weird. Okay, let me. So this is part of the conversation that you all need to know. So since Charlotte has to go, we're continuing this conversations of liberation. We are continuing this conversation in Atlanta next Saturday. We have an event. The link is going to be in this video description. I don't know why this is not big, but anyway, um, next Saturday, we're continuing this conversation. I'm going to be dropping the link for this. If you're in Atlanta, this is going to be the Atlanta meetup that I was talking about that I wanted to host. And so please join Charlotte and I if you are available in Atlanta for this conversation. And so I'm not going, but Charlotte has guests that she's gonna need to leave and attend to. But I do have a couple of questions if I can figure out how to get back to my screen. Y'all bear with me. Oh hell, that's not what I meant to do over here. Where is my mouse? There we go.
Lord of mercy.
Just bear with me over here. We'll be back in just a second. Okay, there we go. I lost my mouse. Okay, Crystal is asking, can you give an average cost of your tour?
Oh, yes, of course. I can give you an exact cost. The tour is $1,750. And that's for from the first, you arrive on the first and you leave on the fifth. It's hotel accommodations, it's all your meals except for two, I think, and it's transportation to and from the airport. All of the everything is included. All you need to do is come and bring your good vibes with you.
Bring you good vibes. Okay, Garden for My Soul is saying, oh my God, two of my favorite people. Miss Bohemian was the first Black person I ever saw in a beautiful tiny, and Queen Charlotte has totally opened my eyes to life in Panama. Much love, ladies. Thank you so much for being here with us, Garden for My Soul. I'm getting ready to let Charlotte go. Y'all hang on. I'm still staying here. Charlotte is there. There are three things I would have asked. The title of your autobiography. If there's something that you wanted to share that I didn't, a question that you wish I'd asked that I didn't ask, and for you to tell us where folks can find you. And again, it will be all in the video description, but have at those
You
last
can,
questions. It's 1 o'clock.
you can, well, I don't have an autobiography, so I'm just going to speak that into existence because I will
But what
have
would be the title? What would be the title if you of your autobiography?
it. You know what just comes to my mind? I said what I said. That would
That
be
is the exact that is the exact title of your autobiography.
that's
Absolutely.
it. I said what I said. Period. With a T.
Okay.
How you can find me, Black Expats in Panama, everywhere. Look for my logo and look for my face. If you see anything else, you're in the wrong place. I love to hear from you guys. You know, you can shoot me an email at info at Black Expats in Panama, .net. And like I said, I'm just everywhere. Just Google me and be in touch. I appreciate your interest in this beautiful country. And I just love the encouragement and support that I get from so many viewers and friends. I hope you can come to Panama. We can meet soon. I don't do personal hookups, but I do a lot of group events so that you have a chance that we can meet, as a group. I can manage that a little bit easier. So I love you. I love you. I love you. And
Everybody is saying
nothing
thank you. I have some comments that folks are saying they're going to take a tour in 2025. There's Green Afro said thank you for your enthusiasm and realness. She's going to be visiting Panama and all the things. So y'all hang on. Charlotte is leaving us. Thank you, darling. I'll talk to you soon.
Okay, Green Afro, tell me when you write me, tell me that you were Green Afro on YouTube so I remember, okay? All right.
All right.
Bye, Jules.
Have a
Thank
good
you so
day.
much for
Enjoy your
having me
guest.
on. I'll see you next week. Ah,
Wait. You're muffled. I can't hear anything you
sorry.
said. Say it again.
I will see you next week.
You're so goofy. Bye, darling. Safe travels. I'll talk to you soon. All right, y'all. Hang on. Let me fix this because we can't talk like this. All right. There we go. All right. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. I'm sorry we didn't have more time with Charlotte, but I did want to introduce the event that we're having and then get to talk to Charlotte. I adore Panama. I think most of you all know Panama is high on my list of places that I would live as I go over there. Panama is also a quick flight, so I enjoy going there because it's easy to get to and quick to get to. So let me go back because I saw some comments that I wanted to address, and we can just kind of chat about all of the things here. Michelle, I know you're going to watch the replay. I'm sorry we didn't get to connect. I hope you have a great day. And then let me go. I'm looking at all the comments. I think I got everything back here. Robert is gonna sweep me off my feet. He's got to get his passport. Wild Love Living, welcome, welcome to our community. Glad to have you. Let's see. Hey V, I didn't get a chance to say hey to you. I see Crystal is getting Robert together. She is snatching him up over in the comments. Um, Effie, I'm glad that this was helpful to you since you were just talking about this and wanting information. So I'm hoping that you got more information than you needed and now you have a contact. Rachel is saying, Grand Rising, Jewel, and Soul Collective really enjoyed Tiny House Festival last weekend. Great event on my way back to West Virginia, and my cup overflowing. Thank you so much. It was beautiful to have some of you all there to make those connections. That made me very proud. I worked my butt off for those the sessions and the workshops, and it was 3 days of amazing content and speakers, and I am very, very proud of that work, and very grateful that you all saw the value in it as well, and enjoyed it. So thank you, for supporting. Thank you all for coming out. And Cynthia, I did get to also meet Cynthia. Cynthia is saying Jewel is minding her business. She is the CEO. That is my thing, minding my business, and I am the CEO of that, for sure. So there was something else. There were some more comments. Um, Oh, Day is saying, have you ever considered having a live one Sunday? Perhaps you can combine Zoom and YouTube. This way, the soul collectors can meet one another on camera. I would love to meet everyone via Zoom. And so that is my intent. Oh, Crystal got you. Day, that is probably better a Patreon video, not here on YouTube as part of her work. That is my intent. Absolutely. Thank you, Crystal. That is my intent with Patreon. I want to be able to do those conversations and have more intimate conversations, but I want to do them in a space that I would consider a more safe space. I don't want it to exist out here on YouTube, because I feel like the conversations can go deeper if it's in more of a um uh protected space, I guess, is what I'm looking for, and that is the intent for Patreon. I have a monthly event scheduled in Patreon. I haven't had many folks show up to it yet, but as I'm trying to grow that, that is the intent. Everybody can be live there, so you can meet in person, see each other, not meet online, and see each other and have conversations. So I hope you can join that community, because that is definitely the intent. And then some of the in-person events that I have is the other option. So thank you, Crystal, um, for answering, and filling in there. That was exactly right. Let me see. So the conversation, the liberation conversation, I hope you all got that conversation and the understanding. And Robert, to your question around how folks act, it's disappointing to me, because we know what it's like to be that group here in the US. We know oppression, we know what white privilege looks like here. And then to see us go to other spaces and enact some of that same kind of stuff, because we have American privilege over those folks, and we're in their country, and to see us behave that way in other countries is so disappointing to me. But it absolutely is a thing that happens, unfortunately. Hi, Sadiq. I'm glad you're here. And I don't care what time y'all join. When you join, I'm excited to have you. If it's just a little bit of time. So Sadiq said, "Small world." Um, their mom had joined the Panama group. A lot of information there and a lot of connections. And I love that the group is so involved. And they are a community, a very involved community. Let me see what else. Yes, the I've met some great folks on her tours, in time that I've spent with her, in and was able to stay connected to some of those folks. So it is actually absolutely a good time and well worth the investment. So Crystal, I'm happy that you'll have that on your list for 2025. Hey Teresa, I'm glad you're here. Let me see what else. I did drop the link for the Atlanta event. I'm going to drop that again. It is next Saturday. If you it is from 11 to 2. I do see that question. Um, let's see. It okay, so Zena is asking what time. It's from 11 to 2. Let's see. Deborah says thank you. Um Oh, Sadiq is saying, asking how I'm doing. I am well. I'm still a little tired. I haven't caught up on my rest yet, but I'm good. And where are you? I am in, so I have a little office space that I share with a friend in Charlotte, since I live in the boonies. So when I come into Charlotte, this is my office space. And it's a newer office space because I was in another office space and we just relocated to a new space. So I am still working on the decor here, but this is my office space. Judith, thank you for joining. Glad you could join us. Ali is saying, I love your earrings. Thank you so much. One of my classmates actually made these, and I haven't ever taken a picture in them. I probably should take them. I bought them from a classmate. I should take a picture. I know Robert also liked my earrings, so thank you very much. All right. Um, let's see. I think that's all I really had. The conversations on liberation. That's the Atlanta. That would be count for the Atlanta meetup for this group. I am doing some stuff and trying to get my whole life together and the things that I'm working on. So I'll have some more information for this group and things that I'm sharing. Things that I need to wrap up now that I have the workshops for the uh, Tiny House Festival behind me. Now I can focus on the stuff that I'm responsible and working on. Thank you to everyone that was able to join us. Apologies for not everyone's experience was the best experience at the event. I kind of have addressed that on my socials. I don't want to necessarily go into it deeper here, but I did want to offer apologies. Like overall, I was involved in the event, so I do have some accountability in folks that absolutely attended because of my involvement. I do want to offer some apologies if you didn't experience the event that you expected to experience. So I will offer those apologies. I do want to say the workshops were fire. And I've been saying that all over my socials because they were absolutely fire. And it was just the diversity of speakers and content in every speaker back to back to back was very vibrant, and the information that they were sharing. Um, it was the event that I would want to attend, and that is kind of how I plan the content from knowing where I am and knowing where I've been in this journey. What would I want to see and bring? And that's how my workshops that I put together. Crystal can attest to this. I put together the workshop of the information that I wish I had had in all of my research, and so that's also how I approached the session content and making sure it was of value. And so I thank you if you were able to join that, um, and it was fire. Like y'all know me, I don't often speak about the work that I do and or brag. I'm not one to brag about the work that I do, but when I tell y'all the workshops are fire, the workshops are fire, and I am owning that work. I did all of that work myself, and the workshops were fire. So yes, Teresa. And Teresa was volunteered to help me out on site. I didn't have volunteers supporting me, so I had to ask my circle of friends and folks. And Crystal was there at the event. Teresa supported me over the weekend. I got to meet Teresa's granddaughter. Teresa got to meet my aunt. I appreciate the support. So thank you very much. I hope you all enjoyed it as much as I did. Cynthia saying Mr. Dixon said to tell you he really enjoyed the Tiny House Festival. I'm glad. I am very glad. And then Crystal is saying we do know you. Y'all, you all know how I roll, and so thank you, thank you. Um, Cynthia saying my grandmama said some people you can't please with a pleasing stick. I agree with that, but there were absolutely some things that needed to be better that were part of event management and oversight that should have been part of the offering that people should have been able to expect. So there were some things that folks have to own. So anyway, that's all I'm gonna say about that in my Forrest Gump voice. Yes, the whole weekend was awesome. I enjoyed it immensely. I enjoyed being able to see folks in person and to hear the content and participate in the speakers work in sessions, and then see the vision that I had for it play out. There's a question about DC. I think I saw it. Crystal was saying a DC. What was the other city? Where is that comment? I know there was a comment about an event in other areas. Virginia, a DC event, Virginia. Absolutely. DC is still on my list. The Eaton Hotel is likely, not likely, is where the event will take place. It is now figuring out the date. There also is a big housing thing that happens in that area. So I need to figure out the date to see if I will trying to co-locate my stuff so that it happens when that is already happening in the area, or what dates will work best. So I am I still have that on my list to do. So no, thank you. Yes, so that is coming. That's all I got, y'all. I can't say thank you all enough for showing up in the community, and as I watch some of the conversation happen, I laugh, and I have to make sure I don't laugh during inappropriate times during my guests talking, because they won't understand that I'm giggling at y'all. Um, so that's that. Um, I think that I've answered all the questions. Robert is saying it's going to be a joy to see you in person, Jewel. I'm going to get down there to finally meet you. And as always, you are one beautiful woman. Thank you, Robert. I saw Crystal um, giving you the business. So that was funny to me. Yes, just let us know and I'm there. Yes, Crystal. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Crystal, did you get your magazine back? I did send it back to you. Teresa is saying, I think now that you have people interested in Charlotte, they want more. Absolutely, and I want to deliver more. So that's the part that I'm working on. Um, the more and figuring out what that looks like for me as I um, figure out what my work looks like. It brought me so much joy last weekend to see the impact that the sessions and the workshops had on people, and people and how it was actually changing lives and opening minds to concepts that they hadn't considered and things that they can do in their own journeys, and the people who shared how they were changed because of the content and the experience that weekend. It was funny to me. There was an older woman who attended, and she was almost in tears because there were two sessions happening at the same time, and she wanted to attend both of them, and she couldn't figure out how to do so. And I mean, it wasn't funny because she was about to be in tears, but it was, to me, a testament of the fact that it was absolutely fabulous information, and she was stressed on trying to figure out how to get it all in. um it was my hope and had been that we'd be able to record the sessions and offer them virtually, or maybe offer them later. I'm not sure if that will be able to be done. That's kind of outside of my scope of area now. But anyway, and yeah, Teresa will, um, yeah. Um, so that's all. That's all I have. Okay, Crystal. I love y'all too. Thank you so much. So yes, let me know when you get it. I did put it back in the mail. Thank you, Creative Community Corner. I think the joy for me is that my purpose just has shown up in the work that I'm doing, and the joy that it brings me. And one of my posts on social media, I said I'm an introvert. Most of y'all know I'm an introvert, but I am a tiny house extrovert. And one of my friends was saying she just enjoyed seeing me in my element, because I am very extroverted as necessary when it comes to talking about tiny houses and doing that work. So I think that has really helped me identify my purpose. So I thank you all for encouragement there. All right, that's all I got, y'all. I hope everybody has a good day. Thank you for being here. I did miss being in conversation with you all last Sunday, but we were on site, and all of the things. So thank you, Crystal. Don't forget to like, sub, share, and support. And I'm going to do my closeout. Thank you all. Crystal's saying, yes, that was the one thing. Sessions need to run back to back two at the same time. I'd love to have seen them virtually at any time. I'd have paid an extra ticket for that option. I agree, 100%. But it wasn't something that we were able to figure out within that time period. So, absolutely. I wish that we could have been able to find to offer that as well. I see you got one thumbs down. I don't know what that was. I hope whoever left the thumbs down, I hope you're okay. And I'm sorry you didn't find something appealing to you, but anyway. Um, um, Next year, next level, it's only up from here. Absolutely. I agree with that 100%. All right, good people. Let me do my closeout. Thank y'all. Crystal and Robert. Um, Thank y'all. Let me change my screen. Let me see if I can figure out how to do that. That's not what I meant to do. I'm gonna figure this out really fast. Thank y'all so much. I hope everybody has a great week. Now I think I'm not changing. Here we go. I hope you have a great week. It has been great being in conversation with you all. Thank you again. This has been Miss Bohemian Soul TV. Um, we're here on Sundays. If the video was helpful to you, please like it, share it, tell your friends about it, so that YouTube will see that folks like my content and they'll recommend me, and I can grow my channel and do all of those things. So thank you. Happy Sunday. Y'all take care. I'll see you soon. And Day and Crystal, y'all are hilarious. All right. Take care. Happy Sunday. Talk to y'all soon.